Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ian and I'm a City of London guide, and you're standing looking at a rare survival of Roman London, the ancient city wall. Now, the Romans originally invaded Britain in the year 55 BC during the Gallic Wars. In fact, Julius Caesar himself was involved in that. But it wasn't particularly successful. Yes, the army came, they marched around for a while looking intimidating. They installed a puppet Celtic king in the east of England, and then they left. They went home again. It wasn't until the year 43 AD, almost a century later, that the Emperor Claudius decided to invade for a second time, but this time he wanted to stay. He wanted to usurp Britain and make it part of the Roman Empire. And Claudius dispatched 4 legions of the Roman army to accomplish this task. That's 40,000 men. They came in 800 ships and they brought war elephants with them. Now, can you imagine how terrified the disorganized indigenous Celtic warriors must have felt when they were looking at this technologically superior, highly disciplined superpower who came onto the battlefield with elephants? Guess who won? Of course, the Roman army gave the Celts a pasting. They were defeated, and the Roman occupation of Britain began in earnest, and their new colonial possession was known as Britannia. That is where we get the modern name of Britain. And at that time, there was nothing here where London stands today. The Romans built the very first settlement here, which they called Londinium. And Londinium was well placed to succeed. Geographically, it had easy access to the North Sea via the River Thames, which is just over there. So from there, they could easily access the rest of the Roman Empire. And Londinium quickly established itself as a very important trading outpost of the Roman Empire. And in time, it became the capital of Britannia. So in AD 200, the Romans decided to build this, a big fat wall around the city. Now, it is a very substantial structure. It's 2 miles, it was 2 miles in length, up in excess of 6 meters in height, and in places it was 3 meters wide. It was one of the most substantial pieces of civil engineering that the Romans attempted in Britain. The purpose for it, we're not quite sure. It may have been for defensive reasons. It may have been to regulate trade. We're not sure. But build the wall they did, as you can see. Now, if you look at the wall, if you make out these red tiles, this is the Roman section of the wall, the oldest section of the wall. If you look up, the upper sections are medieval. They were added much, much later. But this Roman part that I'm touching here, this is the oldest standing structure in London. And this wall really stood the test of time. It lasted until the 18th century. And by the 18th century, its purpose was redundant. It didn't have a defensive purpose anymore. It was really just there. It was in the way. London was trying to expand beyond its confines. So tragically, in my opinion, the authorities in the 1700s took the decision to start demolishing the wall. And this is one of the very few remaining fragments. Okay, so I want to introduce you to this guy. This is the Roman Emperor Trajan, who reigned in the 100 ADs when the Roman Empire was at its most powerful. Now, Trajan has no specific links to Londinium other than the fact that he was, of course, the emperor of Londinium, along with the rest of the empire. The really interesting story associated with this statue was how it came to be here. Now, it's 18th century, it was probably made in Italy, but it was actually found in a scrapyard in the 1950s by a local vicar, Tubby Clayton, who lived just 200 meters from where we're standing, and he thought, I absolutely have to have this, and I absolutely have to install it by the Roman wall in London. And that is exactly what Tubby Clayton did. Isn't it amazing what you can find in scrapyards? And now, if you can return to the 20 and 20 YouTube channel and watch one of our other video stops. Thank you.